Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Jannatul M from B Class English Literature 2019. I'm going to review chapter 8, talks about culture, structure, and agency. So from this chapter, it explains that the relationship between system of meaning and human action has long been a theme in cultural theory. There are three influential figures that are focus of this chapter, namely Pierre Bourdieu, Anthony Giddens, and Norbert Elias. First, I'm going to talk about Bourdieu's theory that emerged from a decade-long engagement with both objectivist and subjectivist social theories. Bourdieu argues that such understandings neglect the role of agency in practical action in social life, especially questions of strategy and subjective emotions like honor and shame. In other words, he does think that folk explanations can provide an adequate account of social life. He argues that we need a reflexive sociology, that we should think about the ways that our theoretical models are influenced by our social and scientific location and try to become aware of our basis. He then writes about habitus. He says that it is something that allows us to react efficiently in all aspects of our life. Bourdieu writes that habitus is not based on reason, but is rather like the impulsive decision made by the tennis player who runs up to the net. He suggests that family and the school play a crucial role in the differential allocation of habitus. Then, from this chapter 8, it also talks about Anthony Giddens. Giddens suggests that action and structure models are equally fluid. He also suggests we think of structure and agency as a duality in which both parts are mutually supporting. From what I've read, Giddens claims that people need to have a sense of trust and that they fear uncertainty. He calls this the desire for ontological security in modernity and self-identity. Giddens argues that we have moved into a post-traditional order in which doubt and choice surround us. The last figure whose theory is discussed in this chapter is Norbert Elias. It is known that, like Norbert Elias, sees the self as a key tool for theorizing agency in cultural theory. Elias notes that the number of prohibitions increased over time. He also wrote about increasing social restraints placed on the use of violence. From this chapter, I was made aware again that in today's society, by contrast, violence and killing are strictly regulated and tend to take place behind closed doors. Execution and abattoirs are a case in point. Elias suggests that in the earlier period there was less awareness of individuality and less sense of shame and embracement. According to him, personality and culture go hand in hand, with culture equipping us with a sense of self and our emotional life. This chapter explains to me that what Elias' theory suggests is that human agency has slowly changed over the centuries. Whereas it used to be propelled by instincts and visceral emotions, it is now governed by reflexivity and self-awareness.